Hello folks, on this video here I'm going to be talking about some World Rallycross action. The World RX Live Esports Invitational took place with its first of 4 events at Abu Dhabi today. And we saw quite a variety in participants as well as in results. I'm going to briefly talk about the esports bit to start off with before going into the Invitational for real-world drivers. And the esports world was quite interesting to see how close things were, and especially because with the esports drivers, they weren't taking any kind of wide out there lines that you might have expected. Because we saw a lot of the pro drivers taking wide lines out of the hairpin, which in the regular Dirt Rally 2.0, if you're doing it in time trial for example, counts as a track limits violation and invalidates your lap. These guys were all keeping it clean, and it's like it's odd to think that they were keeping it so clean and keeping everything on the track, where the pros were going, there's a little exploit here, there's a little exploit here, because it seems a bit of an inversion as to what you saw at the start of this esports craze. We saw Kenton Dalomo taking the win from Lucas Bateja and Killian Dalomo, with John Armstrong and John Harris 4th and 5th, and I understand the way they've done this. You've got 10 of the sim races, so they do a semi-final and final, but the real-world drivers do all of the heats as well. It's a weird way of getting the balance of people wanting to see what the esports lot do, whilst at the same time not annoying the people who are just there to watch the real-world drivers, such as Charles Leclerc, who ended up getting P12, which in World RX itself would have been enough to qualify, but because this one is the top 10 going to the semi-finals and the finals, he didn't make it into the semis. Shane van Gisbergen ended up pretty much dominating, apart from not winning his semi-final, which went to Tom Blomqvist. He ended up winning every other race. And that was quite fascinating to see. I know we saw Andrew Coley and Neil Cole say maybe he'll go into the Sim Racers event next time around, a la kind of Mike Epps with the Racers All-Star Series. But it was interesting to see how many people the weapon of choice was the 208. For me, in Dirt Rally, in the first one, the 208 was my weapon of choice. But with Dirt Rally 2, I just haven't been able to make it click. I'm actually going to release a video at some point where I did the launch event achievement, which was to set a sub 39 second time, and I did that with the Ibiza instead of the 208 because I just couldn't get the 208 to click. But apart from that, I really like the presenting style that World RX has. Of course, it's Andrew Coley and Neil Cole, who are both people that I have a lot of time and respect for. Though I do also have time and respect for Dan Rook, who's usually in co-coms with Coley at the World RX events. But it was quite fascinating to see how they were covering it. Like, both of them talk so much about how much they've played Dirt Rally, and they've been publicising Dirt Rally 2.0 so much, just in their own time, and that was during regular seasons, not only this extended off season that we've got. So they were very open about talking about, this is a connection issue, this is a commitment issue, which we haven't necessarily seen so much in other esports series. Now, one of the things that I do want to point out is Charles Leclerc's following. He ended up with, when I was popping in and out, about 10k viewers when he was actually racing, and after he got eliminated he still kept watching, and the broadcast had on his end close to 7,000 viewers. In comparison, the World RX stream itself had just shy of 3k, though that was consistent throughout. That's really interesting. I guess it's because of Leclerc's fan base within, say, the sim race community, and how a lot of World RX fans might not go and watch the World RX esports stuff because it's not World RX itself. But that's something interesting to make note of, especially with future events coming up. And they're spreading theirs out over time, so the next one's going to be in 3 weeks' time. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye for now.